Each weekend, millions of Americans across the country head out to the stores and shopping malls in search of that special something, whether it's a gift or just because. However, for some, shopping is more than just an errand to run or a way to spend your Saturday afternoon. The compulsion to shop is a disorder that can have extremely debilitating consequences. I sat down with a woman who is battling this addiction and who wants her identity disguised.
I probably realized I had a problem when I was shopping instead of paying bills, paying my mortgage, that type of thing, where it sort of consumed my mind and consumed my time.
This woman is not alone. According to experts, millions of Americans are compulsive shoppers.
I would buy things that I don't need or couldn't use. Like I would buy children's clothes when I have no children and spend thousands of dollars on them without knowing exactly who I could give them to. I have stuff in the closet with tags on it, never been used, don't even remember that I have it.
She agreed to come forward and talk about her overspending habits, but only if we concealed her identity. How would you feel when you were shopping? Was it a euphoria? Explain it to me.
There was something about the seeking and the finding. If I thought I was getting a good deal or getting something different that nobody else had, there was that type of euphoria. But it's always followed by guilt. Always followed by guilt and feeling bad about yourself.
We all have experienced what we call buyer's remorse. You buy something, you get home, and I wish I hadn't done that. How soon before that would set in for you?
Sometimes it would be as soon as you walked out the door
and you knew
of the store.
And you knew this wasn't. These weren't the right things you should do.
Right. And sometimes even when you're literally putting out the card or putting out the cash, you know right then that you're going to feel bad about it later, but there's just the compulsion, so you just do it anyway.
Experts describe compulsive shopping as an impulse control disorder, similar to other addictions.
They're trying to fill an inner need with an outer substance, just like an alcoholic or a drug addict does.
However, unlike alcoholism or drug addiction, shopping is something we can't avoid in life.
The biggest difference is it's sort of condoned by society. There's not really a stigma associated with over-shopping. I mean, it's really accepted.
So how do you know if you cross the line between consumerism and compulsion?
The primary thing is identifying whether you're a compulsive shopper or you just like to shop a whole lot. And the difference is not how much you spend, it's what it does for you. It's what you're seeking through the shopping.
Was there a moment in which you hit rock bottom?
Yes, here I was a person that was successful, very successful in their career, and my home was in foreclosure. I had certified letters from credit card companies summoning me to court, and I had literally no money in the bank. The lucky part for me is I'm at zero right now. I don't have any savings. I don't have retirement. I don't have equity in a home, but I don't have any debt. But, you know, I did hit the bottom because I had to sell everything and give up everything.
So, I mean, does that give you hope that you can overcome this then?
That's really the only hope, is that at least I'm not digging out anymore, that I'm building up.
Joining us now is Dr. April Lane Benson, the author of I Shop, Therefore I Am, Compulsive Buying and the Search for Self. Dr. Benson, good morning and welcome.
Good morning,
I think that story that woman tells illustrates that there is a line that's crossed from just recreational shopping, if you will, and a true disorder. I want to walk through some advice that you give people like her. First of all, you say identify triggers. A store, I would think, any store is a trigger.
Absolutely. A store is a trigger. A mood can be a trigger. A person can be a trigger. An event can be a trigger.
But you have to be aware of these things in order to stop it.
Absolutely.
All right. You also say look at the consequences. Now, we heard her say in there would be this guilt that would overcome her almost immediately. That's obviously one of the consequences,
yes.
But there are many more.
Guilt, shame, secrecy, the financial consequences can be devastating. The consequences to a relationship can be devastating. And there are spiritual consequences. People who shop all the time are often people who feel that they're leading an empty life.
There's the, you say, employ life-enhancing strategies. What might those be?
Well, for example, if you shop when you're lonely, and your favorite salesperson is the person that is meeting your need for contact, there are other ways and other people who are going to be able to meet those same needs in a life-enhancing way that's not going to make you feel guilty after you do it.
Of course, we we have credit cards, and it seems like there's always someone giving us another credit card offer. You can get in a lot of debt in this country rather easily, and you say for that reason, bring only cash or a debit card, which means you only spend what you have.
Exactly.
And that's the biggest problem. Are credit cards the biggest problem for compulsive shoppers?
Well, that's a big problem, and the fact that consumption fuels our economy and that buying and shopping is so condoned by society that 3 weeks after September 11th, President Bush said to us, we cannot let the terrorists achieve their objective of frightening our nation by keeping us from conducting business, keeping us from shopping. Mrs. Bush and I want Americans to go out shopping without any regard for whether we could afford it or not.
And then there's a follow-up strategy you offer: write down everything you spend. Are you supposed to, in the store, as you're buying things, write it down?
Absolutely. The people that I work with have a little notebook, and they write down everything they spend, and they assign a necessity cost to each expenditure, from zero, entirely unnecessary, to one essential.
It's all great strategies. Thanks so much, Dr. April Lane Benson, for coming on and offering these things for us. Appreciate it.